Hi guys and welcome back to World of Tanks. Slightly different from what I was planning on putting up today, but the Panther 88 has made a sneaky and surprise appearance on the store. Let's have a quick look. So we're looking at 9,000 and 8,000, fully loaded or loaded. Fully loaded comes with the usual mix of shells, garage slot 7 days of premium, vertical stabilizer, coated optics and improved vents. The loaded one, medium caliber tank gun rammer, usual mix of shells, 1 garage slot, 3 days of premium. Both come with the Panther 88 Ace, which, if memory serves me, I think you have to get 30,000 XP, you get a day of premium and 100,000 credits, silver, which is quite good. Now, it gets a 50% silver bonus, 15% XP bonus, which is pretty standard for your tier 8 premiums. It does earn money though, because its rate of fire is fantastic, 8.7 rounds a minute, although if you go into the packages it's actually 8.69. Same gun as the Panther 2, but it's more manoeuvrable, but it does have a smaller engine, so you do need the additional track traverse, but you get an extra 4 degrees on the turret traverse, which is really good. A better aiming time at 2.5 instead of 2.9 I think it is on the Panther 2. And better accuracy at 0.31 instead of 0.34, which it is on the Panther 2. Now, the penetration 203, 240, standard long 88 from the Germans. So if you're familiar with the Tiger P, the Panther 2, you're gonna know this gun. Also the Tiger 88, but that gets a phenomenal rate of fire at around 11.11 or something ridiculous like that. 237 on your APCR, which is a little underwhelming I must admit, but you don't tend to need them. It's accurate enough to shoot at weak spots even at a distance, and that's what this tank is. It's a support tank. It's a mid to long range sniper support tank. Equipment wise, I've gone for a vertical stabilizer to basically improve, well, I don't know. That's up for debate, whether you want a vertical stabilizer or whether you want a gun lane drive. Obviously the vertical stabilizer increases accuracy during turret rotation and movement, but what it means, if you're moving and keeping up with the fight, which you should be in this, you don't just want to sit at the back camping, you want to move, keep up with the fight, support your teammates. That's what this tank's for. Keep that gun firing and you will make tons of silver. I regularly earn over 100,000 silver in this. So, like I say, I'm not encouraging camping at the back. When I say support and sniping, I mean moving up with the rest of the team, staying at medium range and supporting them with the phenomenal rate of fire on this. And it is pinpoint accurate, like I say, at 0.31. You can hit weak spots. If you miss in this, it's generally down to you. RNG. Well, RNGs can step in at extreme ranges, but yeah, generally it's down to you. And I love the way it looks. It's got the side skirts on it, which I think in real life came off the House of G model. The turret is not accurate to true life. In real life, these had the top turret off the VK3002M, I think it is, at tier 6, or basically the stock turret off the Panther when you get it. That was the turret off these in real life. You have the same turret armor as the Panther 2, I think it is, fully upgraded. Yep, 120, 60, 60. Same view range at 390. You've got the same side and rear hull armor as the standard Panther, but you have 5mm less on the front, and obviously 20mm less from the front of the Panther 2. And it is a little bit slower at 46. Yeah, 46 kph. And the acceleration, well, the Panther and the Panther 2 both get an 870 horsepower engine. This only has a 600 horsepower engine, so that extra hull traverse does make up for that in the manoeuvrability. But I think it more than makes up for it, and I think it makes this tank more manoeuvrable than the Panther 2. So, anything else I need to mention? Oh, gun depression. Crap over the front of the tank and the rear, as with a lot of Germans, and if you want to get the most out of the gun depression, you have to point it over the side of the tank. So try and avoid shooting down on your enemies or attacking over ridge lines in this. And I think, excuse me, I think that about covers it, to be honest. Hit points 1500, which I think is slightly higher than a fully upgraded Panther 2, but I could be wrong, so do correct me in the comments if I am wrong on that. But I think that gets 1450, so you get an extra 50 hit points. It's neither here nor there really, but bear in mind that extra 50 could be the difference between life and death, and I think that's about it. I mean, I don't normally say yes you should buy this tank, no you shouldn't buy this tank, because it's all about personal preference. I try and give you all the facts, all the details, and let you guys make up your mind from how I do in it. And you know, I'm not a Unicum player, I'm an average player. Just, well, according to WM8, WN8, I think I've just reached dark green, so I'm good. Although for the month I'm in blue, I think it is, or light blue. So yeah, I mean, it's all well and good seeing how Unicum's doing these, but seeing how the average player does, which most of us out there are, I think it allows you to make up your mind better than seeing Unicums playing it and just stomping all over everybody, because we're not all that good. Anyway, enough rambling, let's get into some gameplay footage and see how this thing actually plays. So here we are, we're on Dragon Ridge. It's a standard battle and it's a tier 8 matchup, and I'm platooned up with my wife, and she's in her Liberté. She started up on the ridge. Now, something I did forget to mention in the garage is that this does get preferential matchmaking, so you'll never see higher than tier 9. And the 2 replays I've got for you, I didn't have any saved, so I just basically jumped in it today, knocked a couple out, so to speak, and here we are. But yes, it does get preferential matchmaking, so in a tier 9 match you may need the odd APCR round, but not really. Like I said in the garage, it's accurate enough to aim for weak spots, and at 203mm penetration, it can get through most weak spots of just about anything you're going to come up against. And I would say that in a tier 9 match you just need to play it a bit more cautiously than you would if you're top tier, or in a complete tier 8 match as well. Play it not over cautious, but yeah, a little bit more so. But yeah, definitely in a tier 9 match you want to play it more cautiously. Right, so yeah, like I say, preferential matchmaking never sees higher than tier 9, and the side skirts may act as a small amount of spaced armour. I'm not entirely sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've had the odd shot that seems to have been sort of swallowed by them, or I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. It may act as spaced armour, I really don't know, but if any of you guys know, let me know in the comments. Anyway, there was a Cromwell up on the hill, which I think is what spotted me. Not many people have come round this end of the map, and I'm just working my way up here, and I'm going to see if I can get any shots at anything across there. No. So, I know there's a Cromwell up here somewhere. Not entirely sure where he is. But like I said in the garage as well, I'm an average player. I'm not a Unicum player, and I think that by seeing these tanks in the hands of somebody who is an average player, like so many of us out there, not everybody's a Unicum. That would defeat the purpose. It's the sort of top 1%ers or 2%ers or whatever it is, and not everybody can be up there. But I think, like I say, seeing these in the hands of an average player gives you more an idea of what you'd be able to accomplish with it. Now, I did take a bounce, and I think it was off the back of my tank, but I'm going to keep putting some shots into the STA-1, and like I say, it is a good rate of fire on this. A shade under 8.7 rounds a minute, and that's before equipment, and I've got a gun rammer and vents on here, and if you carried chocolate as well you could get that down even more. Do a daring little jump off there. Auto lock to aim at the Cromwell while I was just stopping, but it did miss, and like I say, if you miss in this tank it is down to you, and that was basically because I was auto aimed. I wasn't actually aiming it properly. The STA-1 has been dealt with. There's my wife in the Liberté. She's come across from over on the ridge to help me out down here, because we are more or less the only two at this end of the map. And I think he's just damaged her ammo rack again. So now I can get shots at those guys over there, and they're 540 meters away. I just missed that motherland because I didn't aim properly. Bounce off the Tiger, still hit him though. And there's the CDC, and again that was poorly aimed on my part. But to give you an idea of how accurate this gun can be, in another game, we didn't do very well. We basically got mobbed and I got my engine knocked out, fixed it, got it knocked out again. But there was a super Pershing, and I hit the cupola weak spot on top twice in a row at about 513 meters distance. So yeah, it is pretty accurate. I mean, as you can see here, they're going more or less where I'm aiming them. They might be deviating slightly, but they're still hitting the target. But yeah, I mean, this is the sort of extreme range at sort of 500 meters. You know, you're not going to be able to aim particularly for weak spots at this range, but as you can see, you are going to hit the target. But when you're at the mid-range, you'll hit weak spots more often than you'll miss, I would have said. CDC's gone off the radar now, and there's a motherland, and I don't lead it quite enough. I've not been in this tank for a couple of weeks, I think, at the minute. Oh no, sorry, I think I went in it once about a week ago. But I have been playing it more recently than I did do when I first bought it, to be honest. Right. Now, that motherland is headed towards our camp, but it looks like they've just basically gone straight through it. And I think they're trying to hunt down Artie. So, let's see what we can do. We've got that CDC up there. Let's see if we can finish them off. Can I get a shot at? No. Looks like he's behind something. I risk a shot anyway, thinking he might just be behind a wall, but he's not. But now I've moved, I can get one into him and finish him off. And the scores aren't looking too good. It's 7-12 in their favour at the minute. So, yeah, we do need to be careful now. There's me, there's my wife in the Liberté, and we've got an Artie left. Oh, there's a Churchill 7 up there. So I'll flick it back, start putting some shots into him. Can't even speak now. Some shots. Ooh, just missed something there. Oh, no. One from each side. I'm trying to get down into cover. And now everything's at me. And that's me done. Got surrounded. CDC that got away put shots in. I think artillery put shots in. I can't talk again. The Churchill got some in. And there's just our Artie left, and we're also being capped. Yeah, it's looking pretty inevitable, isn't it? So, right, I think we'll just skip to the end of that part. Well, like I said, it felt kind of inevitable at that point, and of course it was a defeat. But I managed 3,307 damage, which isn't bad, really. Didn't do an awful lot, and just shy of 100,000 silver, and that's on a loss. Base XP of just over 1,000 there, I think it was. But yeah, you know, I didn't really feel like I did much, but I earned 100 grand, and that's the sort of potential of the Panther 88. It's got a good rate of fire, it's accurate, so you're more likely to hit than miss, and because you're more likely to hit than miss, you're going to earn more money. So we've got one more replay for you now, and it's another tier 8 matchup, and it's on Ensk this time. And this time me and my wife are back. She's back in the Liberté, and we are the top tier ones. It's a very, very favourable matchmaking, this. Very favourable. In fact, you don't normally see it quite this good in the Panther 8 tier, I must admit. I think it must be because there wasn't overly many people playing today, so yeah, to be seeing such low tiers, it's not entirely normal. But anyway, right, so decided to go out into the field, and it's one of those decisions that you think, well, I'll go out into the field. I don't really fancy coming up against, I think there's a T29 or a Tiger 2 on the other team, I'm not too sure. So even a T29 can pose a threat to you if it gets hull down. And there's some stuff you just don't want to run into in a town in one of these. You don't quite have the armour. Not too bad against the lower tiers in a match like this, but you make your decisions, you take your chances, you roll your dice, all that sort of jazz. And we decided to come out to the field. But it turned out to be quite a decent round anyway, and again, earned a decent amount of money. So, we've got a CDC down here, and there's an AMX tank destroyer. Is it the AMX 40 tank destroyer as well? And we're going to make a push and try and mob that CDC, and that's when I completely drive out in front of the AMX, sorry, AMX AC46, that's the one. Yeah, completely drive out straight in front of him. Luckily though, no problem punching straight through the front of it, and my wife finishes him off. And now the AMX CDC is making a run for it. I managed to get a parting shot into him. Can I get another one before he disappears? Not quite, no. Right. And now we've got a hammer down there, but he's the other side of the trains and he's just disappeared. So, this is where we need to just have a think about it and see which way we're going to go. We're 2-0 in the lead at the beginning, which is not bad. But it doesn't really mean a thing. I've said before, I've seen it come back from a lot more than that. So we're going to start pushing round the back here. Run straight into a Tiger 2. Managed to get a nice shot into the side of him though, and can I go into his turret? Nope. And I was just struggling to see exactly where he was. I thought he was this side of the train, but I think it was actually the other side of it, and that's why I was just struggling a little bit to get a shot on him there. Now there's a light tank just chased down our RT. We've got a hammer a little bit further down the track, so I'm going to put one into the back of him and just wait here where I've got a little bit of cover and finish him off, and reload just in time to get around the corner and put one into this Tiger. I'm probably going to take a hit from him, but I can afford to at this point. I've still got a lot of my health, but somebody manages to finish the Tiger 2 off for me anyway. Right. Now there seem to be a large bunch of the enemies over on the western side of the town. There's a light tank buzzing around in the base, and I think that's what I was looking at then. I was just considering going back to base, but I looked on the map and thought, well no, they can deal with that. So what we're going to do instead, we'll leave whoever wants to in the cap to put the pressure on, because it means that these guys are going to either have to, well, they're going to have to turn around and come and reset the cap, or they're going to lose to us capping. So they haven't really got a choice, and it means that some of them are going to have to break away from fighting our guys. Oh, wild IS. But he didn't know whether to shit or go blind then. Just, oh, Panther 88. Oh, I'm dead. And I've got a Tiger P reversing, so I've got the softer side of him. And something I don't know about this, something else I've noticed is that you're having to angle your tanks a lot more, seemingly, to get a bounce. And there's a T20 there that I just managed, he was reversing, and I just caught him through that window with an auto lock and a snapshot. And as there's one left, we cap out. So again, didn't really feel like I did much in that round, but 105,000 silver, can't argue with that. In fact, I did less damage, 2,630, but I got more silver, so go figure. Anyway, came second for that one. But I hope that this has been informative. Like I say, it wasn't what I was going to put up today, but seeing as the Panther 88 snuck back onto the store, I thought I'd knock a little review of it up so you guys can have a look, make your mind up, and see whether you actually want to drop 8,000 or 9,000 gold on this thing. Personally, I kind of like it, and I think if you're looking for something to make a lot of silver with at tier 8, you can't go far wrong. Anyway, as always, take care out there. I will catch you next time. See you later.